Ladies and gentlemen, anytime I get the chance to talk to Chris Widener, it's a good day. He's become over the years a very special friend, New York Times bestselling author, one of the leading motivational speakers in the world, the Motivational Speaker Hall of Fame, and a man of God, pastor as well, on top of everything else that he does. And Israel Appreciation Day 2024 doesn't happen without him. As you know, he was my co-host. Chris, always nice to see you.
Great to have a chance to be able to be on with you again, Robert.
Yeah, well, you give good TV or whatever the expression is. So it's always a pleasure. But look, the idea here is, and you who has been ground zero for us at Israel Appreciation Day, you understand this. But for the people listening, right, you and I both know that if we could take every person in the world and have them visit Israel, have them visit the Holy Land, they would be changed. And we would not have an Israel problem or an anti-Semitism problem or probably even an anti-Western problem, right? But the problem is we can't take everyone from the world to Israel. So Israel Appreciation Day, as you know, our job is to bring Israel to them in a meaningful, experiential way, as
Yeah.
opposed to what they're doing, right? And you know that. And what I always want to ask people, and I'm gonna box you in because we've had a lot of these conversations with people, and I don't want your answer to be what's special about Israel is the people, because that's the easy answer. And it's what everyone comes to, by the way. It is the people, right? And so I don't want to downplay that. But I want to ask you a harder question in that if someone was going to see Israel through your eyes for the first time who've never seen Israel, what is it you'd want them to know? And you can't say the people because I'm ruling that one out on you, right? What is it you'd want them to see or
Well,
know?
that's an easy one, Robert, because I don't believe the answer is the people. I believe the answer is God. He is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the reason Israel is what Israel is today is not because of the people, it's because of their God. And their God is the one who made a covenant with them. And I think it's really interesting. He made a covenant with Abraham. Now, we use these words, promise, covenant, but there's a big difference between a promise, a contract, and a covenant. A covenant is unbreakable. A promise is, yeah, maybe it might happen. A contract is, well, I'm legally obligated to this, but we all know people who can get out of contracts, right? Covenant is unbreakable. God cannot break his covenant with Israel. In fact, in the Old Testament, he tells them, he tells the folks, he says, I didn't choose you because you were better than anybody else or smarter than anybody else or bigger than anybody else. I chose you to demonstrate my grace to the world through you. And that's what we see with the nation Israel. You know, I've told this story before to you. I was sitting there with a young Jewish businessman one time, and we were having dinner, and he says, do you believe in God? And I said, yeah. And he goes, really? And I go, yeah. And he goes, really? And I go, yes. And he goes, really? And I go, yes. And he says, you never have doubts. And I said, no, I have doubts from time to time. Yeah, of course. That's why they call it faith and not, we can't pour God in a beaker, right? We can't see him. So it's faith. And then I really believe God gave me the answer to say to him. He's a young Jewish guy. And I said, do you know one of the biggest reasons I believe in God, have faith in God? And he said, why? And I said, because of you. And he goes, because of me? I go, yeah, because of you. And he said, oh, don't give me that whole chosen people thing. And I go, no, it's true. You should not even be here. Think about it. The Jews over the last couple thousand years, they've been dispersed to the ends of the earth. They should have been completely assimilated into all the other cultures. Their bloodlines should have been completely, mixed in with all the places that they had been. They certainly should have never come back to the promised land because people were trying to kill them. World War II, 6 million killed. Like the only reason Israel is here is because God made a covenant with them. And I believe that, and that's why the Christian church, from my perspective, needs to support Israel because God made an unbreakable covenant with them.
Yeah, no, it's pretty amazing. But any last thoughts? This is a quick conversation, as I told you. It's really, we're gonna take this and cut it up into pieces, and we're gonna just, put it all over the internet in different ways and put it up on the website and Wall of Unity. But Any last thoughts on Israel?
Yeah, I would just reiterate what I said earlier. We as Christians, so I'm speaking to those of you who are watching today as Christians who are concerned and care about and want to support Israel. We need to or maybe you're a Christian and you don't necessarily know. We need to go back to that key lesson, and that is God made a covenant, not a promise, not a contract. He made a covenant with Israel that is unbreakable. And if God made a covenant for something, it's our job to support it.
Ladies and gentlemen, my dear friend Chris Widener. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Robert.